Hello and welcome to Strangeplay. My name is Rik.
And I'm Simon.
And this is the news recap for Sunday, the 3rd of June 2018. And to kick off, we have some great news for you Poke fans out there. 3 new Pokemon games were announced on Wednesday, being Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, and Pokemon Quest. The Let's Go games coming out on the Nintendo Switch, and as the title suggests, will feature Eevee and Pikachu as the main, I suppose you could call them Pokemon heroes, much in the same way as Pokemon Blue had Squirtle, Pokemon Red had Charizard, all that stuff. But this time they'll be wandering around Kanto without being confined to Pokeballs, much in the same way as 1998's Pokemon Yellow, which saw Pikachu just following your main character around out of the Pokeball. In fact, the game appears to be a complete HD remake of sorts of Pokemon Yellow, featuring a Pokemon Go style catching system, which involves the motion controls. It's got co-op functionality and connectivity with Pokemon Go and loads of other really cool things if you're into the mobile game. They also announced a new peripheral in the form of a Pokeball that can be used to navigate the world and catch Pokemon, and the official blurb reads, "The Pokeball Plus features motion controls, lights up with a variety of colours, vibrates and plays sounds. When catching a Pokemon in the Nintendo Switch games, players will be able to feel it moving within the device. It also does more than function as a controller. Using Pokeball Plus, players can bring one of their Pokemon from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Pokemon Let's Go Eevee with them as they explore the real world, giving trainers the opportunity to spend time with their favourite Pokemon even when they're not playing the game. Additionally, trainers can receive a variety of rewards once Pokemon are returned to the Nintendo Switch game." It's an interesting concept. Did you see the trailer for it?
I did watch it, and I fell down a little bit of a Pokemon hole because I've not played since X and Y. So a lot of this is new to me.
No, you don't need to know any of that because, as said in the story, this does appear to be just a remake of Pokemon Yellow, in that it's got the 151 original Pokemon in it. None of the, I think we're on about 750 now, maybe more. There's a ludicrous amount of Pokemon.
Yeah.
But this is back to the Kanto region, this is back to the original 151, and the fact that you've got your Pokemon following you around out of a Pokeball, it does seem very Pokemon Yellow. Initially, I thought that maybe this is where the series was heading, but looking into it a lot more, it does seem that this is the game that's coming out this year, and then the more hardcore Pokemon game is coming out next year.
The way I see it is they've caught a big audience with Pokemon Go on the mobile phones, and that's how people sort of see it. They all flicking the Pokeballs at the screens. So this is their vehicle to getting people to buy Switches to do it all again, but also bridging into the typical Pokemon games, like you said, with Kanto.
That is 100% what I was about to say to you. Sun and Moon were hardcore Pokemon games, but they toned it down a little bit from what X and Y had become.
Right.
But people like Elena, who had never played a Pokemon game before, had only played Pokemon Go. I bought her Sun or Moon, I can't remember. I think I got her Moon, but she didn't get into it as much as I hoped she would do.
Right.
These games seem to be for people like her who love Pokemon Go but haven't really played the original Pokemon.
Right.
This seems to be like a transition game. So they're using mechanics from Pokemon Go and mechanics from normal Pokemon. And then when the new Pokemon game comes out next year, there'll be a big install base for the Switch for people who have bought a Switch to play this game. And then they'll be like, oh, by the way, here's the real Pokemon game. And hopefully those fans will pick that one up.
I don't think it's just that. We mentioned that there's 700 or 800 fucking Pokemon. It's too much. People just can't grasp that if they're coming in. There's just too many to remember. The other thing is, you've got all the casuals. As much as I hate that word, because I don't think there's such a thing as a casual or a hardcore or whatever. It's just, you just play games. But the people that are coming in that can't grasp the things that we've spent
hundreds of hours, man. That series is 20 years old.
Thousands of hours in some cases. But yeah, it's to temper those players into going, okay, this is how we used to do it, but we're going to make it easy. We're going to stand you off on common ground with what you know from the phone app, and we're just going to slowly dip you in until you're more recognised with the mechanics, and then we can go further into what is quite a complicated game. Pokemon is a complicated game. I know it's dressed up in child-friendly stuff, but if you want to really get down into
kind of. It's very much my first RPG. It has a very user-friendly surface, But when you want to go into it, it has a very complicated and deep system to it.
That's what I'm saying. That system is super, super deep.
Yeah.
If you've got a competitive Pokemon competition and watch people and how they're building stuff, it's beyond what anyone normal would want to get into. It's really, really complicated. A lot more complicated than a lot of people want to realise.
No, it's fascinating to watch. People have taken it to another level, and it's...
And these are the things this is the thing that they've got to edge people into going from. They've gone from the app, which is basically walk around and lob Pokeballs with your thumb, and this is, like we say, it's the bridge game. It's going to teach people all the things that they need to know if they want to get into that. Because you can't, like, there's no way that anyone could go from that to a base game, like you said, Sun and Moon, from the mobile phone game and understand what's happening, because it's just not going to happen. Like, there's too much of a jump.
From a marketing perspective as well, it's a fantastic idea because it's going to bring in a whole new audience to your game. Something that Elena mentioned, though, that I thought was quite funny while I was watching the trailer for it was the Pokeball peripheral. And she turned around and, do you reckon we're going to have a kind of repeat performance of when people were throwing Wii remotes through their TVs?
It's highly likely,
I think we're going to see a resurgence of smashed up televisions because people are going to get overexcited and throw Pokeballs at their TV.
I think that I were a bit confused about with this whole Pokeball thing is, you can take the ball with you wherever you go. What is the point in that? Is there some sort of street pass thing? Is it a pedometer or like what?
If it's anything like Pokemon Go, one of your Pokemon can be your partner Pokemon, and they're the ones that will follow you around, sit on your shoulder,
right?
Stuff like that. And as you're walking around, every kilometre or so, they'll get a candy. Candies can be used to power yourself up and things like that. So I have a feeling that that's how it's going to work.
Again, going back to not the red, blue, yellow games, but the gold, silver, and emerald. Do you remember that pedometer, the LCD game that you sort of walk around with, and you could use the infrared? This is how far back we're going. We're using infrared to do communication on video games, and you could get like rare candies, and you did so many steps. It's a running thing, isn't it, with Nintendo? The old steps, the pedometer thing.
They don't want kids to be fat anymore.
Well, it sort of builds into the all you take this with you.
Yeah.
Sort of aspect of the game. You take it with you. It don't just sit in the house. It's to be taken out to get the maximum potential from it.
Pokemon Go is a good example of that, and I do think that because this seems like a hybrid between regular Pokemon and casual Pokemon, that's how the rewards are going to happen. But I do think this is something that we're going to get a lot more information about at the E3 Nintendo Direct. So we only have a couple of weeks to wait until we get all the details on Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. There's also Pokemon Quest, which over the Pokemon are blocks and it's on Switch and mobile, but it's a free-to-play mobile game. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm sorry, but I don't. That's not the important one. It's like, oh, let's make Pokemon look like Minecraft. Fuck off. Let's keep with the good news.
That's, smashing two things that should never be together. There's a Fallout game coming. Another Fallout has been announced in a Twitch stream. It basically had people entranced. They were watching it. It said, please wait. And people really excited because they thought something like New Vegas 2 were coming. Or Fallout 5. There were also rumblings that it could have been the 10-year anniversary version of Fallout 3 for Switch because, Skyrim's been ported to everything, so...
Not the Vita.
Yes. There were rumours Fallout 3 could have been ported across to the Nintendo Switch, which would have been a nice thing, I guess. Anyway, instead we were given Fallout 76, which looks like it's going to be a survival game if rumours are anything to go by.
At least it's not a battle royale.
It's said to retain Fallout 4's base building as well as featuring a range of unspecific multiplayer mechanics. We don't know if these are PvP or more co-op focused yet, but if it has got a battle royale mode, of course people are a little bit angry at this news because it feels a bit like a bait and switch, given that they had a big build-up on Twitch, with this whole fucking please stand by bullshit that they normally do.
Yeah.
It's worth noting that it comes hot on the heels of Metal Gear Survive, which went down like a cup of cold sick. Yeah, this whole survival thing, I think it's sort of run its course. It remains to be seen if Fallout 76 will garner the same reception whenever it chooses to launch. But there's one thing for certain. It's got a big uphill struggle to win back fans because people are pissed, to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really care. I still haven't played. I haven't finished Fallout 4. I haven't started it. I haven't finished it. Some would argue that Bethesda never finished Fallout 4 themselves, going by the bugs and stuff. So,
and the fact that you're saying that is telling, because I know that you're a fan of the series. I don't give a shit. Like I've said on here several times, I've given 10 hours and then an additional 14 hours on 2 playthroughs of Fallout 3. And that game just isn't for me.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about this news. I didn't play New Vegas. I didn't play 4. I've seen Elena play 4, and it honestly bored me to tears. Like, Fallout is not for me. And the fact that someone like yourself, who is a fan of the series, is going, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, for me, it's I need to see more. But even seeing more I don't think it's going to win me over if it's just basically the base building stuff, because I've watched people play the base building stuff from Fallout 4, and it looks like the dullest shit ever. I don't want to be fucking going out to find Elmer's glue and screws. I want to be going out and shooting shit and adventuring. I just don't get where they're going with this. If it is what the rumours say it is, I mean, it could be something completely different. I think the surprising thing is, if it is at E3, which I'm sure it will be, it'll probably be out this year. Because when they released when they previewed Fallout 4, it was like, oh, we're going to have to wait ages for it, and 6 months later it's out.
They did the same thing with The Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Like, I'm not particularly a fan of this whole, we're going to show you a game and it'll be yours in 4 years' time. Because it builds up hype. It just can't fucking live up to. You look at something like The Last Guardian, and it's like, yeah, we fucking waited so long for it that when it came, it was kind of unsatisfying for a lot of people.
Yeah, but The Last Guardian mechanically was a broken piece of shit. The thing that's worried...
put your dislike now, your thumbs down now.
You know what, if you want to put your dislike, go and watch mine and Elliot's fucking playthrough of that piece of shit game, because it's garbage. It's fucking garbage. It looks nice, but it's fucking garbage. The thing that has me worried is games like Kingdom Hearts 3, which have been in development for the longest time, and if that game comes out and it's a piece of shit, I'm like, you know what, Square Enix are the worst for doing that.
I think it's different though, because, I mean, we've both worked in video games. We know what games look like when they're in development.
Yes.
And they sort of sex them up for E3. Like, you look at The Division, you know, the bull shots, where it were like, fucking final game was nothing like that. They try to sell you a vision instead of saying, hey, this is what we've actually got. So yeah, I'd rather they didn't do that. I'd rather they work on the game. If it takes 6 years and then they're ready to show it, then that's great. Stuff like Red Dead Redemption 2, where it looks fantastic. It looks really, really nice. That game's been in the oven forever, and when it comes out, I think that's the clever thing about some developers. They know when to show a game. They're not like, oh, look at what we've got, and just spunk the fucking balls all over the place, instead of just waiting and delivering something that the know is going to look like the final product.
But that's the future of games. For this next story, we're going back, way back, to the beginning of games. To a guy called Ted Dabney, the co-founder of Atari, who has unfortunately died at the age of 81. In a Facebook post last Saturday, historian Leonard Herman announced, I just learned that my good friend, Ted Dabney, the co-founder of Atari, passed away at the age of 81. Rest in peace, dear friend. Your legacy will live on a long time. Dabney was the co-founder of Atari predecessor Zigspy along with Nolan Bushnell in 1971 and developed the world's first arcade game, Computer Space, which was later used as the basis for Pong when the pair co-founded Atari in 1972. Dabney was diagnosed with esophageal cancer in late 2017 and, according to friends, decided against treatment after being told he had 8 months to live. We here at Strangeplay would like to not only give our condolences to Dabney's friends and family, but also a heartfelt thank you to Dabney himself. Gaming as we know it would not be anything close to the behemoth that it is without companies like Atari, and it's people like him who made companies like that possible. So we have lost the godfather of the hobby.
Yeah, it's really sad that one of the grandfathers, without him and his cohorts, we would never, me and you wouldn't be sat here today.
No.
Without this guy.
Not at all.
I mean, he's had a good innings. He's died at 81, which is some age. Like, I'd be happy if I got to that. I don't think I'll get there myself because I'm a lazy fat shit, and I'll probably die in my 40s. I think also, because we're such a young industry comparatively, we haven't gone through this before. Because we were born into this industry, we are going to witness a lot of the people that started off dying, like Iwata.
Yeah.
And lesser people as well, the people like Biscuit that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
There's other YouTubers that are heavily influenced. Well, a guy called YTheAlien that died a couple of years ago. There were Phobos, who were a pro gamer. It's going to become more frequent, which is a sad thing because these people, not only are the people that have got their own families and stuff, but they're sort of changing the world around them by doing what they're doing, even if it is just making YouTube videos or programming games, or it might seem insignificant, but they're important people in their own ways.
Not just games, though. It's just, I think that we're at the age now where our
heroes are
going to start dying.
The pioneers in their own movements as well.
Yeah. Ted Dabney, 81's cancer of the esophagus as well. I'm pretty sure that's what got Roger Ebert. Throat cancer, esophageal cancer. I'm sure that's what got him, and it's a horrible way to go. But like I said, 81's good innings, but I just don't think that Ted Dabney as a name gets enough recognition. Like, everyone knows Nolan Bushnell, especially if you've seen the Atari documentary on Netflix. Like, you know who Nolan Bushnell is. So that's just why I wanted to take a second just to recognise the fact that without Ted Dabney, without the co-founder, we wouldn't be where we are right now. And our hearts and thoughts go out to the Dabney family. But sadly, I think we should move on to the next story.
PUBG Corporations filed a copyright violation lawsuit against Epic Games over copyright infringement in Fortnite's Battle Royale mode. This lawsuit specifically covers whether copyright infringement has been done when you compare PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Fortnite. This is going to be carried out in Korea's court. South Korea, not Best Korea. I don't know if they've got Fortnite in North Korea. I don't know the wider reaching implications of this, but it's going to be minuscule. I can't see it being that big. This issue goes back to September of 2017 when PUBG Corp raised concerns with the then new release of Fortnite's Battle Royale mode. So we're going back quite a long time. 10 months or something like that. At the time, PUBG Corp says it was more about the engine the games were running on rather than the similarities between the games, citing that they were worried that Epic would hold back upgrades to the engine to get the competitive edge when it came to owning the best Battle Royale game on the market. It looks a bit shady because when you look at PUBG Corp's previous court bullshit with Knives Out, which were a mobile Battle Royale game, they went to court over that because they used frying pans. They cited that frying pans were a token... No, what were it? A characteristic of PUBG Battle Royale or some fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, the frying pans have been used in loads of games. What are you talking about? So this comes at a time when PUBG is under extreme pressure in the Battle Royale market. It's reportedly lost 50% of its players since January on PC. The biggest player base, not to jump ships, is China. PUBG Corp might feel their audience is being encroached on with Fortnite being licensed to be played in PC bangs around Korea. So the internet cafes and stuff like that. They've said that we've licensed this to be used in these areas. So that's going to take another bite out of the cherry. It looks like the wheels are about to fall off PUBG, partly because they're being pushed out by Fortnite, but also because of their own negligence when it comes to making their own game the best it can be. It should be interesting to see what happens for both games, and games that go down the Battle Royale mode, which I'm sure we're going to see loads of this C3. At this juncture, I don't think anyone's going to beat Fortnite. In this industry, money talks. If you are backed up by money, like Fortnite is, it's had a lot of money spent on it, it's had a lot of expertise poured into it, a lot more than PUBG has, which is, for all intents and purposes, an asset flip. You look at it, and it could be any game. Do you know all the copies that are coming out? It literally could be anything. Like it's characterless. And the other Battle Royale games, well, specifically Fortnite, don't have this issue. You look at Fortnite, and it's like, oh, that is Fortnite. It's like you look at hero shooters, and it's like, I can't tell which one this is, but you look at Overwatch, and it's like, that's Overwatch. I can tell it's Overwatch because of how it looks. It's like looking at a Pixar film or something like that.
Yeah.
There are many imitations, but the ones that do it best control the market.
This whole fucking thing is ridiculous to me.
To me, as well.
If anything, it's bad sportsmanship. This is the people who are losing this particular genre war. It's so petty. It takes me back to like 1994 when Capcom tried to sue Data East over Fighter's History, which did like a hell of a lot like Street Fighter 2. But the courts ruled that there was enough differences that you can't sue a developer for creating a game in a similar style or something. And that's exactly what's going on here. This is literally someone going, we're going to sue because their game, although apart from concept, is completely fucking different.
The foundations might be the same. 100 people go in, one person wins, and you have a map and stuff. But the way it's delivered is very, very different. It's like saying Star Trek and Star Wars are the same thing because they're set in space. They're not. The differences are so wide and reaching that you can't compare them. Like even Cliffy B's game had its unique spin. It had its USP. And you look at the games that are coming out, like Call of Duty is going to have a Battle Royale mode in it. If it's got a lot of money thrown behind it and a lot of know-how, it's still going to be better than PUBG.
Yeah.
Because PUBG is a fucking broken mess, from what I've seen.
PUBG is, an evolution of a mod from H1Z1, which itself is a mod from Arma 3. There is nothing original about PUBG.
Yeah, he's trying to sue people over the fact that they're stealing his ideas when his very idea is stolen. It's hypocrisy.
Yeah. And just the concept of his idea, not even in games, but the concept of his idea of X many people enter, one person leaves.
Even that idea was stolen from a film, which the genre's named after.
Yeah.
It's just fucking idiocy. It's just like, look, mate, look, guys, just make the game that you have as good as it can be. Don't worry about Fortnite. Don't worry about all the fucking mobile phone games. Just get on with what you need to do and win people by being the best that you can be. That's what it should have done. It shouldn't have fucking taken anyone to court, because that's just fucking stupid.
This to me screams of jealousy.
The thing with this is, you've got to realise with video games, competition is great, because it weeds out all the shit.
Like we said last week, competition breeds innovation.
Yeah, this is exactly it. Competition breeds innovation. So eventually, we might be looking at Fortnite and going, oh, this new fucking game that's come out, it's much better. It's much stabler. Everything runs like it should do.
Yeah.
It's got all the hallmarks of, progression. And we'll look at Fortnite and go, yeah, it's fucking shit. But as it stands now, it's king of the fucking crop. It's king of the hill. And PUBG might have had that accolade when it was the only one on the market, but it doesn't have that now. And it doesn't have it because it's terrible. I'm saying it's terrible. I've never physically played it myself, but I watch people play it. It's like, well, that's fucking broken. That don't work.
Yeah.
It looks laggy as fuck. And I watch Fortnite and I don't see any of that. I don't see any bugs. I don't see any glitches. I don't see any lag. I see a game that works.
Yeah, for a free-to-play beta game, Fortnite is polished as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why it's winning. It's winning because it's the better game. And there's nothing more to say about this. You don't need to get your lawyers involved and piss your money away incurring law fees, because the only people that are winning off that are the fucking lawyers. It's the solicitors. It's the judges having to fucking sit through this shit to fucking go, yeah, well, you're wasting your fucking time here because it don't work.
This is like Nintendo suing Sega for Sonic because Nintendo had the idea of the mascot side-scrolling platformer. The fact that PUBG Corp or fucking Blue Balls McGee or whatever it's called has the audacity to fucking go, oh no, I'm gonna sue. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck your game. And more importantly, fuck you. Because I'm sorry, but you can't do that. You are just, what a wanker. This is going to cost so much money. And you know what? This is going to destroy him.
Yeah.
Because Epic, they've got money to burn.
Yeah. Well, they've just put 100 fucking billion into a fucking prize pot.
Yeah, 100 million for a fucking prize thing. Epic, They've got the bigger user base. They have the bigger gaming history. They have more money and more support and more experience, especially with lawsuits and stuff. They're going to bury you. PUBG's going to disappear, and you're going to end up working in Lidl. Nothing against people working in Lidl. I don't have a job. I'm in no position to point at anyone. But fuck you, PUBG Corp. Seriously, what the fuck?
I love Lidl. I think it's a brilliant shop.
It's great. Audi, considerably better. They have disco biscuits, or whatever they're called now. But
I love those German discount shops.
Yeah, let's not get into a fight over who's better, Audi or Lidl, because this will go on for hours. All I'm saying,
we've both got the pros and cons, and we can just this is the thing. Like, this is a good thing. If Aldi were Fortnite and Lidl was thingy, they won't sue each other. They just get better.
Yeah. If Audi sued Lidl when Lidl came to England, this is what this is.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Right, PUBG Corp, take your fucking £30 alpha game and shove it up your fucking jacksie.
I'm not quite that harsh on him, but yeah, I think it's very misguided that this PUBG Corp is doing this because they're just fucking throwing money down and all.
Well, I've been drinking, so fuck him. But anyway, let's no longer talk about those people, and instead let's talk about you guys, the listeners, and everything that is amazing coming to you. And that is that the free games for Xbox Games with Gold and PlayStation Plus for June have been announced. So for Xbox One this month, you have Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia, Smite, the Gold Bundle, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed on the Xbox 360, and Lego Indiana Jones 2, The Adventure Continues on Xbox 360. But both of those games are backwards compatible with the Xbox One.
I'm just looking at the value weighed upon these games. Smite Gold Bundle, $100. What the actual fuck? That's a lot of money.
Yeah, but Smite's a free-to-play game, isn't it? So
right, okay.
It's one of those
so they're giving you currency or whatever.
Shooty MOBA games. Alright, first of all, Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia. The fact that all three of the Assassin's Creed Chronicles games were released as one game, and you're only giving away Russia, fuck off. Smite, a free-to-play game, here's some free shit, fuck off. Lego Indiana Jones, fuck off. But Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, I think you should pick that one up because it's a genuinely amazing kart racer.
Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed is really, really fucking good. On par with the Mario Karts. If you have an Xbox One and you have a gold account, you want to be on that. It's fucking ace.
It is fantastic, but not half as fantastic as what is coming to PlayStation 4 this month, with the two main games being XCOM 2 and Trials Fusion.
Yes, lovely. Lovely fucking slices of gaming.
Just those two games themselves is an amazing value.
It'd be XCOM 2 for me. I'm not a fan of Trials, but I know a lot of people that are, and it's a big scalp this month.
All I know is that one of my closest friends, Harley, has been getting on me for ages about playing XCOM 2 because it's one of his favourite games. And now it's free, I'm going to do it. Additionally, for those of you with the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Vita, you can pick up Zombie Driver HD and Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier on the PlayStation 3. And I've got to say, Future Soldier as a free game on the PlayStation 3, that's good, because that game's solid.
I was just going to comment on it that our friends over at PlayStation Country, they fucking hated it. They really, really hated it.
Yeah, but they're as cynical as we are, Simon.
I don't know. They're probably more cynical. They're like the cynicalest people I know ever. Yeah.
I saw the Qbert review. I'm like, we need to step up the cynicism.
Yeah.
But for those of you with the PlayStation Vita, you can also pick up Atomic Ninjas and Square.
For those that have a PlayStation Vita, why? Why? What are you doing with your life? Move on.
That's available on Vita now. I downloaded it for free. I'm happy. But anyway, that is it for this week's news recap. If you'd like to talk to us about any of the stories we mentioned, then please feel free to comment below or talk to us over at Twitter at StrangePlayUK or join our Facebook group at facebook.com/StrangePlayUK. Also, if you like this video or like what we do on this channel, please feel free to give us a like and subscribe. Believe it or not, we do appreciate it despite what Simon says. But until next week, thank you very much for watching and we will see you then.
I'm being bombarded by a moth.